Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Today we are going to be looking at a user replay that was submitted to the Discord, and they are going to be playing in the Richelieu. Now for the user in question who is playing in the Richelieu, it is submitted by the user Stefan. He's already opened fire on the Bismarck here, as they have spawned on the left side of the map, where he is going to be spending quite a lot of his time actually defending this side of the map, as it's going to be pretty heavily contested. However, you can currently see this is one of the game modes where you have to be gaining some of the caps, and at the moment it looks like the enemy is starting to really take precedence over the cap. Now the friendly carrier is dropping a few fighters here. Yeah, there we go, he's already dropped that Akatsuki down to quite a low amount of health there. He's already on half HP, and at the moment Stefan is really just doing as much damage as he can before he really gets into battle. He's currently firing on a Bismarck, and there is also a Zara, as you're going to be able to see on the left here, where he will give him a very nice welcome shot. The thing to note in the Richelieu is it does have incredibly good dispersion, especially vertical dispersion, as you are about to see. So the Zara is going broadside. He did hold the shot. Yep, he held the shutter for a few seconds there, waited for him to give it broadside, and 33,000 HP. 700 HP, 32,000 damage, and unfortunately the friendly Zara takes that. That is not the first time in this game that the kill gets taken, however I'd say that is a very nice opening to a game. He's starting to reverse here though, as he's currently outnumbered. His Bayern and Fuso are quite far back. He is the top tier ship here, meaning he will need to lead these pushes for the fact that he's going to have the highest health pool there, but at the moment there's nothing really spotted, and it would be quite suicidal to really start running down, especially when you're not entirely sure where the enemy destroyer is. I mean, they are in the middle of the cap at the moment, but he has been forced out considering the Grasse is currently capping. But at the moment, he does now have the liberty to move a little bit more freely because he has taken out that Zara, which would have probably been dropping torpedoes on him if he hadn't have taken him out, so it is in his best interest to do that. He can start pushing forward, however, as the Nagato is quite far out of the battle here. He's behind an island, and the Bismarck is also behind an island, meaning he has got a bit of room to go through. Now, if he does get spotted at any point here, it is probably going to be the destroyer, because you can see where his spotting is, which is 14.6 kilometers, and if anything actually spots him within that period, it is probably going to be the destroyer, as anything else with low detection isn't currently anywhere near that position. He's currently being spotted by the enemy EP fighters, and thankfully this is a game with tier 6 carriers. So his AP is going to, his AG is going to be able to do pretty good amounts of damage and keep him from being attacked most of the game, which is going to be very good, because usually most of the time when you're in carry games, you're going to be at a point where they're just going to be able to waltz on through unless you have got a pretty nice AA rating, and because these are low, well, if you have played the Weser, then you're going to know it is not really the most fun to play even against ships of your own tier, so when you're going against something like a tier 8, it's generally not advised. Now, whilst we've been discussing this, Stefan has started to move forward further into the map and has just been overall just chucking a few shots over, trying to hit things, but unfortunately some of them have been falling a bit short. But even so, he has still managed to help knock out that first ship. Now he's loading some armor piercing, and that Nagato is giving him a very nice broadside coming out the island, and he has now realised he is in a very bad position here. And Stefan is also being supported now by his friendly Bayern, who is just coming up on his rear, and he drops off an AP salvo there, but I think this one does go a little bit short. I mean, it would be a very nice shot if that hit. Yeah, that was a little bit short. It would be very nice if that did hit, as that would be pretty devastating. However, with Nagato realising his mistake, he has started to actually back up, because he's got a Bayern firing on him, he's got a Richelieu firing on him, and it's overall not a very good position to be in, as you're about to see with his guns now coming off reload cooldown, and does get a final salvo off just before he gets behind the island. Does take a little bit of damage there, but overall, I think the trade there was very nice. 2 citadels to begin with 4 hits, and getting a nice 29,000 damage, and a total of 69,000 damage, which is very good overall. Torpedo bombers coming in, however, they are going for the Miyoko by the looks of it instead, and not going for the Richelieu, which is very nice, meaning he can now start to focus on what is ahead of him, which looks to be a Bismarck. And at the moment, you can currently see there are a lot of ships really clustered up on this section of the map, and they are all going to be able to deal with him. I did get a little bit, I was like, oh no, this is a very scary time to be turning out. However, I can understand entirely why he would do this. I mean, yeah, you're about to see the damage he's going to take. That was a pretty nasty amount of damage he took. However, if he stayed and carried on pushing, he'd be at the mercy of the Bismarck secondaries, the Fuso, the Takeo, as well as anything else there, which I can currently see there is a King George V. Overall, it is not a place you want to be in. Instead, he is taking the more advisable route of starting to kite away, where he can be the most effective and minimises the amount of damage that he takes. Bismarck is showing him a nice broadside again, so he does drop a few more shots off, while the Nagato, who I'm assuming is reversing, which means he's going to be in that position for quite a while unless he starts going forward again, which gives Stefan a pretty nice, just a nice amount of room to manoeuvre. Now the Fuso is also there, who appears to be aiming at Stefan. However, I think a Fuso is going to be no match for a Richelieu, because that thing, it is basically like a shotgun. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do quite like Fuso. I mean, it's got a ridiculous, as you can currently see there, it's got a ridiculous tower in the centre there. However, at times it can be a very good ship to play, and when you're broadside against a Richelieu, yeah, 15k damage, 4 salvos, it's not so good to play, or at least when you are going and giving sides just as free as that, and that is basically just free real estate, bringing Stefan up to just shy of 100,000 damage. But as I was saying, the Fuso is actually genuinely quite a fun ship to play, and I do really quite enjoy it. However, it does have some pretty bad dispersion occasionally, and I think that's what the Fuso is trying to make the most of here, for the fact of, well, he's not going to be making the most of it for long, as he just got citadeled and got another shot on there. But instead, because of that, with the small amount of shells he's probably going to hit, he was trying to use high explosives, so in the future, if he does get any other shots off and they miss, then it won't be a problem, because he can get some fires. However, didn't set any fires at that point in time. And because of that additional salvo there, this has brought Stefan up to 120k, and we're only partway through the match, which, thankfully, Stefan's team is taking... They are definitely taking the win here, as there is a massive difference in points of well over... Yeah. Also, Shores, Citadel, nice. I mean, to be fair, the Shores is basically just a floating Citadel. It's very easy to knock out. However, that was a very nice ship. That was a very nice shell curling in there, and just bringing him up to a bit more damage. But with the current amount of difference in points, it looks like Stefan's team is definitely going to be taking this win. And the Nagato is currently getting a bit of spotting here. However, I think with the Bayern coming around to one side and Stefan coming around the other side, he's not going to really be around for too much longer. So it means that Stefan can start going in, as it looks like the enemies are starting to take a bit of point of map. Yeah, they're taking quite a bit of map control here, as the Bayern's currently going into the centre here, and all of the friendly team appear to be all in one very, very small cluster of ships. Yeah, you can see them all there. They've just all clustered up in that one area, just like the enemy team. I mean, both teams are guilty of doing this. However, I think in the position that the friendly team is in, yeah, it's not really too good. They could have torpedoes, drop them down that straight, and if they come out the other side, there we go, just gets a nice citadel through the back there. It's overall just not a very good position to be in. Now, the Nagato is currently being dealt with by the Bayern. However, I would not like to say who would win this. I think it's probably going to be the Bayern who's going to be coming out sunk here. But we'll probably see in a few seconds when Stefan pans around the camera. But yeah, there goes the Bayern who, well, the enemy Bayern just got taken out. But I was talking about the friendly Bayern who's going against the Nagato. Over at this point, yeah, there we go, 13,000 versus a lot more which the Nagato had. And at this point, it is just the fact of the Takeo is going to be able to cap, but if I was the Akatsuki on the... Because it looks like every time he's getting reset there, the Takeo, it's going down the entire way, meaning the Destroyer, I'd say it'd probably be a good idea for the Destroyer to go into the centre. However, it looks like he's instead decided it's a great idea to go and hunt the back of... I mean, fair enough to him for going around all the way to the back of the entire fleet there. However, yeah, he's going to be knocked out pretty fast. He's being spotted by fighters as soon as he comes out of smoke. And the carrier's right there, which he's going to be able to just carry on dropping rocket attack planes and make that Akatsuki's experience very unenjoyable. Thankfully, with that distraction though, it means that the enemy team... I mean, I say thankfully, it basically gives the enemy team a distraction to get the centre cap and get a few more points. But being broadside to this, yeah, there's no way he's surviving. That manages to get a high caliber award as well as a citadel with that one shot and gets a second kill. Now, the amount of damage so far and the amount of kills he's got here, which are Basically, they should have been his. He could have very easily gotten a Kraken here, but even so, with the results you're going to see at the end of this game, I don't think it really matters. Now, that King George V, he is quite far out, giving Stefan a very nice broadside here, and Stefan is definitely making the most of this. Probably a good idea to slow down here as the Bismarck secondary is coming over. I think that's what's going through his mind. Managed to get to 4 hits on the King George V. Very nice result indeed there, and gets up to 172,000 damage. And there out pops, for some reason, the enemy Weser does not need to cap, but has decided that this is the point that he should now start coming into the centre of the battle. Yeah, I don't understand it, when the entire fleet has got a nice shot on him. Unfortunately, does not get a citadel there, but does still get a nice few penetrations. 3 overpens there for 11k. I'm going to assume that means that he has managed to overpenetrate the citadel, which still deals a great deal of damage. He's taking quite a bit of damage here, Stefan is, which is why he started to reverse here, which I can totally understand, as he wants to be as effective as possible and make sure that the enemy team cannot win this game. Because if he can keep on just hitting them and taking them out, even with their 2 centre cap points, with the outer cap, eventually they are going to be able to get this win, and the Bismarck instead fires at what I'm assuming is the Baltimore. He's not being killed, so that's good. So they're going to keep their points lead, and there we go. Yeah, that's what I was saying, by the way, with all the planes getting knocked out. That entire squadron just... They managed to get a single... yeah, there we go. Yeah, these are not even going to hit. They managed to get a single attack run there, and their entire squadron has been knocked out by him and the Aobas. Yeah, it's just the fact of you're not really going to want to go against tier 8 carriers, well, tier 8 ships when you're in a tier 6 carrier, whatever you're in, and manage to get another 7,000 of basically pure alpha damage there onto the superstructure of the Bismarck, and they're still at 915 points, meaning that the outer cap is currently getting blocked. Even though this is not so much of an issue because this Bismarck is now giving Stefan an incredibly nice broadside here, 12k broadside. Even though we have got the delta back armour, it does not stop you getting penetrations, which you're about to see here. There you go, 4 hits, 11,000 damage, secures his 3rd kill, and that brings the team up to 955 points. Now there is the enemy Weser here, and on killing this you will get too many points to keep in the battle, so this will be the final thing to shoot at. However, even so, I'd say very nice score here so far, and it's just a fact of now waiting for this Weser to get knocked out. I do kind of wish that the enemy teams had knocked out a few more friendly ships here, because it would have meant, yeah, Stefan could have gotten quite a few more shots and just an overall a much more inflated damage number. Now, yep, the Weser is on 19,000 HP, and this is where I think if he got the Zara kill at the beginning here, that would be very nice, because he's sitting on 4 kills, and with this Weser, yeah, 15,000 HP, he's now on 8,000, 6,000. Unfortunately, you're about to see, yeah, 500 HP. That's 2 ships now that have been under 1,000 damage that he's managed to knock out. I mean, I was really hoping his secondaries would come in, but unfortunately, instead, it is still taken. Even so, I'd say that is an incredibly good score, and we will now go over to the end result screen. Now, the first thing you'll see is the incredibly good 226,000 damage. That is a score that I would be happy with at tier 10, let alone at tier 8. So just from that alone, I'd say this was an incredibly good game, so thank you very much for submitting that. Just overall very good to watch. But overall, you can just see it was a very good performance in battle. The amount of citadels he's got, and overall just the performance is absolutely brilliant. If he got the Zara and that Weser, that would have been brilliant too, just because he's already got the Confederate, the Dreadnought, and the High Caliber Award, and it would have been nice to get an additional heroic achievement just to get that Kraken, as that would have really been the cherry on top. However, even so, with this result, I'd say it was just a brilliant game to watch. I'm guessing he had some modifiers there. As you can see, he's currently got 12,000 experience points, but even, yeah, I'm guessing if he's going down that line, then yeah, he's going to be trying to get more experience, but overall I'd say that was an incredibly good game. Now, I am going to take the liberty and say that he was probably top of the team here. Unfortunately, I don't have the team score, but with that performance, I'm going to say he definitely came out on top, because, yeah, 226k damage, he basically killed 5 ships there, and was a very... Well, he was the reason why the entire flank on the left side was able to push up there, because he was able to pretty much clear it out, allowing his team to come up and then start recapturing from the side. So overall, I'd say a very good game. And with that said, that is the end of the video, so I hope you've enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, then make sure to leave a like, and also just thank you again, Stefan, because that was a very good replay to watch, and that's it from me. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.